what's your 2 cents on what's going on with the Pac-12 and Stanford seemingly left without a major, large conference chair right now, David?
Yeah, I don't think, of course, we all know it's not completely settled yet. There's still a lot of things that could happen. None of us, I'm talking about not just being the former head coach there, but being an alumnus of Stanford and all the people I know, my friends and colleagues, and it's just difficult. It's difficult when you look at all the players from this conference that should have a lasting legacy, that it should not just disappear to zero. You know, you're talking about Jim Plunkett, John Elway, Andrew Luck, right? The whole line, Christian McCaffrey, all these guys, they should have a legacy. Those records should exist someplace. So you hate for the conference to disappear, but at the same time, it's a new era right now. And if you don't play by the rules that everybody else plays by and you sit and wait, you're left out. And that's where the conference is, and that's where my school is right now. Waiting for something else to happen that hopefully can salvage something, yes, monetarily, but also, I can't help but think about the legacy of the conference. I have a little bit of pie in the sky that once all this stuff settles, and then 7-8 years from now, when all these deals are about to be re-signed again, that maybe somehow we can form this conference back again. But for right now, it's tough times out here on the West Coast.
Did you get a sense in your final years at Stanford about the tenuous nature of the Pac-12 and its future? Did you see any warning signs, flashing red lights on that front, David?
More than warning signs, it felt like there were bombs going off around us. We all knew, right? The first contract that we signed as the Pac-12 was right around my first year, the big contract, and we didn't get a lot of that money that was promised. The DirecTV deal never came through. A lot of things didn't happen. So that first deal was just not what we had hoped it to be. And all the other conferences signed better deals than ours. And we signed a longer-term deal, so they actually re-upped theirs before we got to ours. So it was just bad on both sides. But the bottom line was we knew school by school we were getting less money than everybody, less coverage than everybody. And we were hoping this next deal was going to be much better and more lucrative and could keep the conference together, if not expand them. We almost expanded multiple times. Everybody remembers the deal with Texas and Oklahoma was just about to be signed, and that fell apart. A couple of things almost happened, and then we went from things almost happening to nothing happening to schools and presidents, university presidents, who I think there's a lot of culpability on those desks. Nobody really brings that up, but there's a lot of culpability on the president's desk. But then as an individual president, you're saying, hey, you're promising me things and nothing is happening. And this other conference is coming to me, putting a check on my desk. And eventually, money talks, and schools walked.
So I guess last one for you on this, because you just mentioned about stuff on presidents' desks and things of that nature, and then we'll get to the NFL preseason that you're part of with us at NFL Network. So why do you think this happened? From your position and having been in the middle of it, why do you think the demise of the Pac-12, and I know you say there's hopefully still a silver lining, why do you think it happened, David?
And there's a lot of blame going back to Larry Scott, and it's not just Larry Scott. There was this whole time period, I think, where out here we've always seen ourselves as leaders, my school in particular, the conference in particular, even outside of the main sports, football and basketball. But these TV deals have a lot to do with mainly football. And the commitment that was necessary to make to football without sacrificing the academic integrity, right? This has nothing to do with academic integrity. This has to do with recognizing that what football is in this nation is number one, right? NFL is number one, college football is number two, or depending on your opinion, you might flip those two, but those are the top two sports in our country. Recognizing that and putting that first so that it can benefit your entire university. I think as a conference, we kind of lost sight of that. I think we backed away from that and recognizing and we all saw where it was going. and we chose not to lead. We chose to wait. And you wait too long, money happens other places, and now our conference gets pulled apart.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.